Good evening, everyone. Thank you for those that decided to attend. I appreciate your time on a Thursday evening this close to back to school, and I appreciate you are showing up on time. And we'll dive right into this so that we can uh, don't take too much of your time this afternoon. First off, I'm Justin Sines. I'm a chapter services coordinator here with Psi Upsilon, based out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and I'm here to talk about your chapter and what that means as a brand for you and your members. This is going to be a lecture style event, so please hold on to your questions, and we will come to those at the end. Um, there we go. Um, we do have a time for all of our questions, so please, if you hold those to the end, that'd be great. Um, we're going to start off with talking about what does it mean to have a brand? What does that actually mean? Then we'll start looking at values-based branding for a little bit, looking at how that connects to the five core values and the mission of Psi Upsilon, and then we're going to look at where does your brand show up for you on your campuses, and what does that mean, and how can you effectively change that if you're looking to it. And then finally, we're going to look at managing and working on deliberately changing that reputation, whatever it might be called, for the better. So, before we talk about building a brand, I think we need to be clear on what that means and that you already have one as an organization on your campus. Imagine a company that you can come up with that you can think of. Shoe company, phone company, airline. You may not remember the ads, but you have an understanding of what that idea is behind that company, right? Um, Recognition, people can identify without being told that you are members of the organization. So a brand is that promise that people can recognize. So uh, people identify you without being told. You're wearing your letters, you're in a group of your friends, you're at events that you're holding, you're with other members. That's going to help people recognize that you're on uh, your brand on campus. Expectation, a brand is a prediction that other people are going to use uh, to make about your future behavior. Once once you get a reputation, it's hard to change that, right? So we want to make sure that we're always coming from the bottom and making sure that our expectation that others have of us are good expectations, right? And consistency. The longer and longer that you continue to do these good things or bad things, that's going to perpetuate that brand, if you will. Um, if a company does something that you don't like, but eventually they change their ways, they change their policies, you may go back to that brand. But if they continue to uh, use that same have that same issue, you're going to struggle with choosing to go back to that brand and buy that iPhone, buy that those shoes, whatever it might be. Um, though a lot of times we use a logo to describe a brand or show the brand, um, that's not a brand. That it's the sum of all of the understanding that people have of your chapter and those visible signals underneath of it all. Um, First off, everybody already has a brand. Whether you like it or not, there are some uh, predetermined stereotypes that one, Greek life as a whole has, and two, that your chapter has kind of pulled together. Whether you're always at the top of the grade list or you're always at the top of the volunteer hours list, that's going to affect your brand. So, um, who on campus has these ideas? Prospective members. I think that's one of the biggest ones we want to talk about is when you're trying to sell yourself to new members, that brand needs to be uh, y- you can't try to change their minds about something that they already think is going to about you, right? Um, Campus administration. We all know that they don't have the some of our campuses don't have the greatest rapport with our Greek system, even though we do great things, raising money, volunteering, um, being active alumni. Uh, One bad incident can have your campus administration, and that bad thing can be happening across other campuses, and unfortunately get put onto you as a chapter not even on that campus. Other chapters and sororities, we all have uh, the group of the sorority girls who that we that we have a lot of connections with and that we have a lot of things in common with, um, and the ones that we don't. We work well with one group, but we don't work as well with the other another. Um, it's actions of a few helping determine the understanding of the whole, right? Um, Parents and alumni, same thing. Faculty and staff. I like the deciding whether a fraternity member is a mark in a favor or favor against you. My When I was an undergrad, I was in a theater program, and anyone that wore Greek letters to an audition kind of was skewed and uh, passed aside because we all knew that Tuesday nights they would have their chapter meetings, they'd have other obligations, so it was hard to schedule around those members. So sometimes it was harder for those members to get cast in a show, even though they may have been very, very good actors or whatnot, but they just having fraternity connected was a kind of a strike in the wrong direction. Um, and employers, increasingly, they're searching chapter names when you're interviewing and be part of that candidate search. Uh, we want being a Psi Upsilon to mean good things for you and not uh, in the opposite direction. And just because you're labeled with this group that you may have um, uh, we want you to have all the best opportunities and uh, with future employers. I think this is one of our most important slides here. There are three different versions of your brand. Every organization has these three. Um, the stronger chapters are going to work at making sure that they're all similar, that they're all connected and all intertwined. But struggling chapters don't know that this gap exists. So we all have our how we see ourselves, how the chapter believes that they are, that you're doing great things, that you're a great group of guys is something that I've always heard. Um, you have an understanding of what you are uh, what you believe the chapter to mean. Um, so that is version one of our brand. Version two is that present how you present yourselves to others. What are your actually doing? Your things that you're posting online, the events that you're having, when you're wearing your letters out in public, how are you behaving? Advertisements on campus, attending other organizations' events, like your reputation is going to precede you, right? And then finally, the third version of that is how the campus as a whole sees you. They're going to take from the first two and kind of put them together, and but what you're actually doing is and how you're actively acting and presenting yourself is going to skew how the rest of campus sees you. The problem occurs when the version that you see of yourself and how the campus sees you are so far apart that the gap is just not able to be connected, and we want to work to get uh, those two versions kind of meeting in the middle and demonstrating the best you can be as a chapter. Where does this gap come from? So, um, we've all said it, we've all heard it. This is how we've always done it. Just because it's a tradition, one doesn't mean that it actually is a tradition. Um, and just because it was a tradition in my time does not mean it's a great tradition today. And I think that is evident in the pledge process of times before my joining and today. Uh, we are we have a lot of rules and expectations during the recruitment process and that new member education process. And because we've had a lot of incidents from other across other organizations, Penn State, Louisiana State University, that have always done it one way and it actively harms others. So we want to make sure that just because we've always done it doesn't mean that we continue to do that bad thing, right? Um, uh, we only market when we need something. Check your Instagram reels and post. When was the last time you posted? Was it just during recruitment, just during an event that you're happening, or are you asking uh, for money from alumni? If we want to know everything that goes on that you're doing, not just when you need something or need help from somebody, right? We assume that the campus knows that we know. Um, yes, you might have the best GPA on campus, you may have the most service hours, but if you're not selling that about your chapter, the campus is only going to know what was posted on the front page of the newspaper or what the gossip mill has passed down from this weekend's activities, whatever it might be. So we want to make sure that we're always uh, demonstrating how the good things that we're doing on a consistent basis. One loud minority defines the whole. So a handful of bad members doing something wrong is going to put a black eye on the rest of the fraternity and maybe even the Greek life system as a whole, right? Um, a case about myself, my chapter, we had a former student from my chapter come back to campus wearing letters, even though he wasn't a student on campus anymore. He said some very not nice things to the new Gay Straight Alliance on campus, and it made the front page of our newspaper on campus. He didn't go there. Yet he still wore our letters, and the chapter was definitely had some that's the focus to make sure that up and demonstrating that that was not us. That was just a one example of somebody who we don't actually associate with anymore, right? So let's move on to part two, and thinking about the values of Psi Upsilon and how we can utilize those values to help show what the value or the brand of your chapter is. I like the way it says here, anchoring the brand is something that the if behavior drives the brand, what should your behavior be anchored to? Um, where does this start? Let's start at the very beginning. Uh, United in friendship, Psi Upsilon members aspire to moral, intellectual, and social excellence in themselves as they seek to inspire these values in society. The mission of Psi Upsilon. You're all in this organization, whether different campuses or not. This is the mission of the international organization that you are a part of, and we want to start here to help us find where our brand starts. Within that mission, we have a handful of core values. And each one of these implies a set of behaviors that you can actually observe on campus so that you can demonstrate to campuses, to your fellow students on campus, faculty, staff, so that you can build your brand based in the values that we've decided that we as an organization want to uphold: that lifelong friendship, moral leadership, intellectual engagement, responsible social conduct, and that service to society. Um, if you're building your brand off of these five, it's going to be very durable because no matter if you're changing officers, or and as new members come through, if you continue to support these values as an organization, you're going to easily demonstrate to the university why you should be there and why you're such a great organization and why others should join you. Although we've just talked about values, they don't build the brand, but behaviors based on your values is what helps build that brand. So let's look at it as our flow chart here. Our value, intellectual engagement, just as stated in the mission. Our behavior, what do we do to demonstrate that intellectual engagement? We have a weekly study table, faculty dinner, and published chapter GPA on our website and our social medias. Okay. How do we demonstrate that? Photos, Greek Life Offices, the GPA report that the Greek Life Office is going to put out. That professor that came to that faculty dinner, he gives you he has an experience that was really great, and got to meet and know some of the members, and he's going to take that to his colleagues and say, hey, that SIU group is actually a pretty great addition to campus, and we want to make sure that if you have any in your classes, make sure that you uh, they're treated well, whatever it might be. And ultimately, all of those are going to build into the brand. Um, and I like the SIU is the chapter that takes school seriously. And that's what they decide. You're demonstrating that through the photos of your study table, of your faculty dinner, and the GPA, published GPA data. I like this too. A chapter that posts about brotherhood without doing anything visible together is asking campus to take its word for it. Uh, Show it, don't say it. Is what I've always heard in my theater experiences. Demonstrate it to us. Show us what we're supposed to feel and understand about the group. Don't just tell us that. Yeah, we're all about brotherhood. We're all about brotherhood, but we don't ever do anything together. So we're all about brotherhood, right? Um, we want to make sure uh, that evidence that you're showing on your Instagram or social medias, in your newsletters and your news and service reports, backs that up and as marketing. So we have our five core values shared by every SIU chapter, but your brand for your chapter comes determining on which is distinctly yours. How do you want to interpret and what do you want to focus on? Some questions to ask yourself as a chapter. Um, which of these five do we already live, and what are we demonstrating visibly already? What are we already doing? What are we already doing well? And how can we show that better? Um, which is our biggest gap between stated and lived. We talked about this a little earlier in the further the gap between what you think about your chapter and what you're actually doing, that's going to be harder to demonstrate, difficult to just demonstrate that you are doing good things as a chapter. And if a campus could describe us in one sentence, what would we want it to say? And is that currently true? I think that goes back to what do we want campus to think about us, and what do they actually think about us? What do we think about ourselves, and what do we want them to think about us? Um, these things have to be true, not just aspirational. We want the campus to believe that we're the hardest working Greeks on campus. Demonstrate that. Show us. We can't just want that. Um, must be specific. As everyone knows about SMART goals, we have to have specificity so that we can measure. Um, like a sophomore should be able to state it from memory. The elevator pitch, you should be able to say what the fraternity's values, your fraternity's values are, chapter's values are, and it should survive the graduation of your lot of seniors. Uh, once those seniors are do the rest of the chapter, does the newer members know what your values are and demonstrate those every day? Here's some things that I don't what we'll call an alignment test. Use this to test your own chapter. Take this back to a meeting with your chapter, and if you answer no to any of these, you have an idea where your brand could be stronger and demonstrate those ideals a little better. If a stranger scrolling on social media, what would they be able to name the values without being told? That one's a hard one. If prospective members or parents searched our chapter, what would they find? Would they be comfortable with what they found? Google yourselves, find out what's out there. Google your chapter. Uh, could the rest of your Greek life on campus name something that you did last summer or last semester, or something good that you did in the last year? Um, I go back to Lambda Sigma Psi, you think you can dance. For as much funds and they're raising, they have to have a good rapport and a brand on campus to get that lasting and continued support from the university and its constituents. Uh, does a recent month show posts of the work or only the fun? Self-explanatory there. We want to show that we're demonstrating what we're doing and not just only showing uh, the the facade of the fun that we're doing. Does the way we behave in public match the way we describe ourselves in recruitment? I think this goes back to the example that I had about a member on our campus. He was out on campus. We had an understanding of what we believed in as our values, but he wore our letters and said something that was not in accordance with those values, and it really hurt our chapter and made it a little difficult to recruit for a handful of semesters. So please think of making sure that your public what you're doing in public is actually matching that recruitment line. How do your members describe your own chapter? Um, is it the same way that you expect to describe it to each other? I think this might be a fun exercise to take back to your chapters and have each of your members write down what does it mean to be a SciU on campus, and what would you take from that uh, to the rest of campus. As we move on a little further now, the more practical part, where does your brand end up being built or damaged every day? Where do we see this brand being built and shown to our outside audience? Check your feed. I think we're all on Instagram, and some of us are using Instagram in a really, really great way and demonstrating those authentic, non-aspirational things that we're doing, uh, showing us, putting our money where our mouth is, if you will, demonstrating that when you say you're going to volunteer, you're volunteering. When you say you believe in academic integrity, you're showing group studying together. Be specific, not general. We had a great night with brothers. Doesn't really say anything. But name the event. Who did it help? What did it achieve? What is the one person that was recognized in that event? Whatever it might be. And please be values driven and not event driven. Uh, we talked about this a little earlier with our values. demonstrate what this chapter stands for, showing that service project, the career panel, academic recognition, not just we had this event, we did this, we got together and hung out over the weekend. We want to see that you're uh, living the life that you are suggesting or that you're saying you're living. Um, Consistency always beats frequency. The more you post uh, regularly, your audience is going to come back and want to know, what are you doing, how are you doing, what are you doing well, what is happening, what's upcoming. um, if you only post during a recruitment and then you don't post again until the next recruitment season, you're going to lose those regular everyday people popping in to know what those are. The alumni want to know what's going on. The prospective members want to know what's going on, not just, hey, we have recruitment, here are our events, oh, here's a picture from the event, recruitment was great, we have these new members. Speaking of platforms, I talked about Instagram a lot. Different audiences across uh, are going to look at your different platforms. So we want to make sure that we're tailoring maybe those feeds to those different constituents and audiences. Instagram, those are going to be your peers, um, prospective members, current students, recent alumni. Um, uh, TikTok. I'm not on TikTok. I'm too old for TikTok. um, Facebook. I'm a Facebook generation. I use Facebook way more than I use Instagram, and I don't post anything on either of them regularly. But alumni and parents are going to check out your Facebook. So even if you have an Instagram, make sure you're still posting on Facebook. Make sure you still have a Facebook group so that those people that aren't on Instagram or TikTok can still see what is going on uh, with the chapter. LinkedIn, same thing. LinkedIn is going to be more on that career network, employers, alumni, that professional visibility. Uh, Internships is a great thing to post on there. Career outcomes, alumni spotlights. So different platforms are going to have different audiences and what their primary target is for that. So one is not better than the other. You just need to know what your goal is and what and where can we reach that goal. So please snap a picture of this. This will be great to take back to your chapters and make sure that you're using a variety of uh, platforms to make your brand visible. I'll go through this quickly. I believe that we all kind of have a what to post and what not to post. We all have that. Um, let's look at the positives first: service philanthropy events, academic achievements, brotherhood activities, campus involvement, alumni spotlights, SIU Cares programming, chapter traditions, and their historical context. Things you shouldn't post. Anything that goes against our risk management policy, anything that goes against our values, anything that can be exclusionary, discriminatory. Uh, you all know what it means to be a great member of Psi Upsilon, and we would want your social media and brand to say the same thing. I like this: when in doubt, do not post. Everything is public, whether you have your lockdown, your accounts locked down so nobody can see it. It's on the internet. It's gonna make its way out. Make sure that you would want somebody outside of the organization to see it before it gets posted online. Um, Chapter websites is another way that you can demonstrate who you are as an organization and what your and demonstrate your brand. We definitely want current officers and contact information, recruitment dates, an interest form. Everyone has access to Fire It Up, which will have an interest form that you can pull right there for brief chapter history. Know about your chapter and be able to talk about it. And then the links to I'm going to highlight here active social media accounts. If you're not using Facebook, you're not using TikTok, you're not using Twitter or X or whatever we call it now. Uh, see old those we don't want to link to something that we haven't posted to in a couple of years or because it I like on the other side broken links and officers from a dozen years ago is going to read as that the chapter's not functioning anymore and so again, sites can be that are inconsistent with our values will not be linked. So again, making sure that you're following our values and demonstrating that. I like this. Search your own chapter name in an incognito window. Whatever comes first is the brand that anyone will be able to find without meeting you. So you've kind of removed your algorithm from that, and you're going to get to see what others are going to see uh, uh, on a first basis. When you're in person and in campus, wearing letters, it's the easiest way to mark your brand on campus, and members are doing it every day. Uh, Tuesday night was chapter at my undergraduate institution, and Wednesdays we all wore letters. I don't know why. That was just what we did. But it's going to have an effect both ways. Letters are going to be good for visibility. They're going to know that you are a member of Psi Upsilon. They're going to be easily able to identify you and connect those with, and if they want to learn about Psi U, they're going to walk up to you and go, "Hey, I see you're wearing letters. Tell me about the chapter. Why should I join the chapter?" Um, and everyone loves a beautiful picture with everyone in the same letters. Sororities do it better than anybody. But having that beautiful picture with everybody in the same T-shirt with the same bright letters and it just very cohesive. Um, on the opposite hand, every action that you do becomes a fraternity action. They see the letters on your shirt, they see that you are a member, and your individualism gets taken away from that. And that's frustrating. I keep harking back to that event on my campus. Uh, he didn't even go. You don't even go here. He didn't even go here. Um, but he was wearing our letters, had been a member of our organization, and he helped hurt our reputation. Um, Tabling, if everybody is in matching shirts, it gets a little intimidating to those around you. Um, um, Meet the Greeks, you know what you're walking into. Everyone, great. Everybody should match. Meet the fraternities, whatever you want to call it. Um, but recruitment events, it's going to be hard if you're all wearing the same thing. It's going to be very, very intimidating for somebody who is in a different color t-shirt to make sure that to try to fit in, even though uh, they may want to join and may want to get to know about you, but it might be intimidating for them to step into a group that large where they feel that they're kind of an outsider with that. If you would not want it to attribute it to the whole chapter, take the letters off first, or just don't do it. I think this is a great rule when teaching for our new members. I think it's an easy way to demonstrate our risk management policy. I'll go through this one pretty quickly. In uh, your resources, you do have our brand guide. and our style guide. It's going to give you specific colors and fonts and logos to use. Um, it's going to make your chapter look like there's part of something bigger, an international organization that we are here. Uh, Here's some do's and don'ts on the our coat of arm. You know, don't rotate it, stretch it, distort it in any way. Split it out outside of black and white, garnet, or gold. Don't try to recolor it. Don't recreate it or redraw it yourself. Um, uh, Use our official files. And if you need access to those, please, please, please reach out. We are happy to send those to you and help you to get the right information and marks on for your chapter. Um, Although I've been talking a lot about posting and the pictures that you're taking and using to show who you are, the brand that the campus is seeing is not the one that you're posting online. The one you're posting online is the one you want them to see. Um, uh, so your chapter's reputation is built over hundreds of individual interactions, events, and decisions, none of which tend to be posted anywhere. How do you treat people who can't help you? It's an interesting way to phrase that, I will say. But like, how are you treating the staff on campus, the custodians, the dining hall? Uh, uh, a bad, interaction with one of those members on campus can go further than you think. Um, how are you behaving in class and around faculty? I was on staff and worked with a lot of faculty members. We talk. um, uh, it's easy to say, oh, this fraternity doesn't ever. They're all lazy. They never do anything. So, uh, oh yeah, he's probably not going to be a great addition to your class. So, but that might not be the case, and it probably isn't, to be honest. But other of your other members with the same letters have attached to their name have ruined it for the rest of them that are come after them. I joke I'm an older sibling, and I had my sister, who is 5 years younger than me, had the same teachers as I did. And I joked and said, I feel bad for her because she had to live up to anything that I did or didn't do. There was an expectation that, oh, uh, that's from the science family. They're going to be this, this, and that, or not. So she had to work differently to create uh, a brand for herself. I was more in the academics, and she was more in athletics. So uh, it's kind of a personal example of how this might show up. Um, how do you show up when something goes wrong? Cooperate with campus, or do you get defensive and try to blame it on other people? So working with campus um, is always going to go a lot further than being defensive and trying to pin the fault on other groups or individuals. Everything so far we've described what brand is. Now let's talk about who is responsible for demonstrating that brand to the rest of the world. Um, Easiest way to say this: somebody has to own it. Um, we have communications, public relations chairs, officers. They're the front line. They're going to manage the chapter social media. They're going to be making sure that they fit the brand guides, that they are consistent in the logos. They're going to monitor reputation from the Yik Yak and pass it on, make sure that the Archon is aware of anything that might be said that way. They're going to produce the newsletters. They're going to coordinate media coverage if there are events that you want to bring to the media and have them cover. So you think you can dance. The media should be there to demonstrate how much, show how much money to the rest of the community that you're bringing in, right? And they're going to build that through following consistent values aligned content. So they're going to be uh, coordinating what we see this, outside of the chapter. Um, but it can't be done alone. Please, please work in committees. As a communications person myself, it's hard to take the photos, edit the photos, post the photos, write the stories, and make them all look good on in the newsletter. So everyone has different skills and abilities. So let's use those to work together and make the best that we can. We want to make sure that we're not uh, only reaching out when we have events or problems that we want to manage that reputation. We want to share the positive stories. You're all doing great, great, great things on campus. Uh, Let us know. Post that picture of you uh, at your service event, at your philanthropic event, at your brotherhood event. Show that. Uh, Make sure you're filling out your news and service reports. Let the international office know of the things you're doing so that we can, uh, uh, you know, there are awards out there. There are, you know, uh, the information that goes to alumni. We want to make sure that this good work that you're doing uh, is being publicized. Um, Celebrate members. Did we have a 4.0 this semester? Did we have new RAs, new members that are in community leadership? Did somebody get an internship? Do we have a brother of the week? What did they do? Let's celebrate everyday members publicly and build those relationships before you need them. Work with the Greek life staff, faculty, advisors, campus paper. Know those people and work with them, not just if something happens. I like chapters with a bank of goodwill will get the benefit of the doubt when something goes wrong. It's If you're only appearing when you need something, you're gonna be not given that benefit of the doubt. And oh, well, they're just only popping up when they need something, so they must need something, right? So, uh, utilize uh, relationships that you have on campus uh, early. Go to them in September, not just during the crisis. And what if there is a crisis? um, the first thing we want to do, contact us at the international office. We want to know. We want to be there to help you. We want, if there is something that happens, any of the chapters that I work with have my cell phone number. Call me right away. I want to know. I want to be able to help you there. Silence goes, uh, or hoping that it doesn't happen isn't going to help you. Minimizing, oh, it's not that bad. Uh, that's going to make it worse. Uh, Arguing and getting defensive with campus administration. Um, Being performative instead of actively correcting the issue, not going to serve you well in the long run. Don't let the rumor mill run. Again, reach out to the international office, cooperate with campus. If there is a genuine corrective action, do it. Don't just be performative. Communicate clearly with what's going on with your chapter, and follow our policy regarding reporting obligations that's in your Garnet book. So our to kind of recap here, we want to uh, run a brand audit every semester. Uh, Empower your communications chair to do this. Google yourselves. Do some incognito window searches. search the chapter name, school plus Psi Upsilon. Just screenshot that page. Scroll your own feed as a stranger. Read the last 30 posts with no context. Write down 3 words a stranger would use to describe you. Uh, Ask 3 outsiders. Ask your friends. What do they see when they see your Instagram post? What do they think about the chapter? Compare that to your values. Going back to the very first thing we talked about, leading everything into the mission statement of Psi Upsilon is going to help you determine the best brand that you can do. Pick one gap in one action, not five. One concrete change, one owner, one deadlight. Then run the audit again the next term. See if that has corrected it. If it hasn't, why not? Let's figure it out. Let's work together. And one thing it says here is add this to your chapter's Asana project so that we're doing this each semester. So if you have any questions on how to do that, please reach out. I'm happy to help you. I love Asana. I love working in Asana, and how to effectively delegate these things. So before we end tonight, I just wanted to here are some things that you can take back to your chapter from this evening. Every chapter already has a brand. We just need to, whether we're managing it or letting others write what it is about us. You can only close the gap between what you think you are and what you are by changing behavior. Campus does not have to agree with what you believe you think, with what you're saying about yourselves. You need to change the behavior and change what you're doing, and that's where the perception will come after that. Connect it all to our mission statement and our 5 core values. They're going to continue after officers leave, after members are no longer in the chapter. But parties and personalities are going to leave with. So build it on our values, and it will continue to be built on our values. Demonstrate it with visible evidence. Show us. Don't tell us what we want. Demonstrate it to us. Show us the work, and we will see that you're doing the work. Give the brand and owner a committee. Find a communications chair, get them a communications committee, let them work together to create that digital presence. And it's gonna, and during your new member education, let our new members know this so that they are able to facilitate and be the best members that they can be. And lastly, make sure you're auditing it each semester to make sure that you're continuing to grow as a chapter and continue to be the best that organization that you can be. Here are some resources. My information's down there in the far corner. Always happy to go over this. I would love to connect with each and every one of you to make sure that we are being able to demonstrate the good things that your chapters are doing. I will thank you all for that. I'm going to stop our recording. Thank you all for coming this evening. And if you have any questions, we can go through those now.